Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We will start in another 5 minutes. Let's other people to join in. Good afternoon once again. On behalf of the entire tech team, I welcome you to today's webinar. We have an insightful agenda lined up and we encourage you to engage, ask questions, and make the most out of this opportunity. Let me introduce our two speakers. We have with us Mr. Vijay Kurana, who is the co-founder with 15 plus year of experience in dynamic practice and by professional he is chartered accountant. And we have with us Mr. Amit Kumar, our lead expert consultant. Thank you once again for taking the time to with us. Let's get started. Over to Mr. Vijay.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Let me share my screen, please. I hope my screen is visible. Aditi, if you can quickly confirm.
Yes, it's visible.
All right, so I'll give a quick 2 minutes introduction about TecTree, what we are, and then we'll directly jump onto the agenda, like what we are expecting out of this session, what we have customized, what is our contribution in terms of Dynamic 365 for EPC industry specifically, right? As we have worked a little extensive in this domain, this space, so we prefer to focus in today's session just for EPC industry. So this is today's discussion about TecTree. What is the objective of the webinar? End-to-end project management and accounting. That's the thought process. Then what we have customized or what we have tailored is has to achieve like financial transparency, accurate forecasting, like then timeline, task progress, dependency powered by Gantt charts. Because this is the more, I would say, most common area, which is the pain area in this industry to get the data which is fully integrated. So if I look at Dynamic 365, the standard system provide project management solution, whereas it does not have Gantt charts. It does not have the flexibility. Everybody either has to go to MS projects or find out some other tailored solution for project management purpose, right? And then it is not synced with any of the ERP. So very common case in India, people are using either Tally or some other system, accounting system, let's say Zoho, right? And then they are managing their projects separately. But you will find, especially the MSME level or the mid segment level, you find people are using multiple solutions to cater multiple problems. And what we have tried to achieve with that is to bring everything on one common platform so that the whole ERP can be utilized with different departments and functions. And that's the live case study which we will discuss at the end. So about TecTree, we are Microsoft Gold Partner. So this is the old competency called Gold Partner. Now it is called as Business Application Solution Partner. So we are Business Application Solution Partners and Gold Partner along with that. Again, the competency is just business applications. So our primarily focus into Dynamic 365 business applications, not other solutions from Microsoft, which means not, let's say not M365, not other hardware, not other software. It's just the business application, which consists of ERP and CRM. We are also LS Retail Gold Certified Partner. So LS Retail is nothing, just an extension of Business Center for retail industry. So there is a company called LS, which is an Iceland-based company. So we are Gold Partner of that as well to implement retail solutions on top of Business Central, which basically have the infrastructure from BC only. This is the, I would say the product chart or the services chart. Why I'm calling it as a services chart? Because we are not primarily a product-based organization. We are more of a solution-based organization. Our major focus is business consulting rather than selling the licenses or selling the products, right? So the whole package will become a solution, which is having subscription, SaaS-based software, and the consultancy. So we do first three in the pyramid. If you see, there are applications of ERP, CRM, then there are analytics application, and then there are infrastructure application. So we do majorly Business Central, FinOps, and CRM, these three. Then Power BI, Power Apps, Microsoft Flow. This is required to provide the insight and analytics. So this becomes by default an embedded part of ERP and CRM. And then we have Azure, SharePoint, M365. So basically, let's say if some of our existing customer is on on-prem solution and they want to migrate onto hybrid mode, so we use Azure for that. If let's say there is a digital transformation has to happen, somebody is using Outlook on-prem, they want to migrate to cloud. So that kind of solution services we provide. But again, it's the near and dear of D365, nothing apart from that. What is D365 technology? So it's divided into two parts, customer engagement and ERP. Customer engagement consists of customer service, field service, marketing, project service, automation, and customer insight, which majorly deals with the CRM branches. And then we have the project related stuff, product related stuff, and finance related stuff, which consists of manufacturing, supply chain, finance, operations, and HR, which is different divisions and department of any organization. So that's the ERP side of it. Now, what do we do? What is our role? Okay, so basically we do three types of services: consulting services, projects, and optimization. Consulting services more of system audits, or let's say if somebody want to get analysis whether our system is fit for their organization or not. So those kind of consulting services we do, coming from a CA background. So we have done a lot of systems audit and that kind of stuff. End-to-end projects. So that's the ultimate objective or goal of implementing an ERP, where we do the study starting from pre-sales or a discovery phase till the end completion of the project. So we do end-to-end implementation. We handhold the customer from migrating to the old system or a legacy system to a fully digital system where they can automate their business processes. Another type of projects nowadays we are doing is application upgrade, which is lift and shift and re-implementation, where let's say I am using an old version of Business Central, which was Navision. Last version in India was Navision 2016. And they want to migrate to a fully cloud solution, want to come out of redundant servers and infrastructure. So that SaaS migration is lift and shift, where the whole customization and database will also be migrated. If that does not need to be migrated, it has to be re-implemented. So these are the end-to-end projects. And then optimization, where somebody want to move on support, or let's say it's a phase two, they want to enhance something. So that's a part of optimization. What type of projects we have done? So we have done in manufacturing, trade, service, retail. This is the common workspace, I would say, landscape of the organization in which we have done the projects. So we have done multiple projects in manufacturing in multiple type of industries, which we have mentioned. Then similarly, trade, service, and retail. Okay, coming to today's agenda, what is the objective of the webinar? So what we have done, there is a standard product of Business Central. On top of it, we have developed some capabilities which is tailored for EPC based organizations, right? So the objective of the webinar is to touch base on those processes which we have developed and how it can benefit the whole organization. So so Amit will run through the whole system. He will show how the 360 degree can be achieved of that processes where again it's tailored to EPC industry for today's session. So where we will see the whole procurement cycle, project management cycle, and how tightly integrated it is, both the cycles with the finance cycle. So that will cover the 360-degree of the EPC industry. Then coming from like what all subtasks he will show. So it will be project setup, like what task. So for example, when we get a project, when we have to start a project, so it's a engineering, the first step which will happen. We have to prepare the design. Then there will be BOQ, like what all items are required, what all processes are required, like what are the timelines, what all the raw material will be required to make that project happen, to commission, right? So those stuff is task, subtask, which is my work breakdown structure ultimately. Then resource management, to whom to assign that task, who will do that task, those kind of scenarios. Then timelines and ultimately budgets and forecasting. We'll try to touch base on a couple of more things, which is procurement and sourcing integrated with project management. Where let's say a project manager is requesting the procurement team, okay, see, while in the beginning, there might be a scenario we have budgeted everything. But while doing the execution, there might be a scenario, some items I need today, some items I need after 3 months, some items I need like after 1 year. Because in a EPC project, it's like 1 year, 2 years kind of a scenario for a bigger projects normally. So that control probably, let's say it is up to us. We want to leave it with project manager. We want to leave it to product manager. We want to leave it to the procurement manager and how it will work. So those configurations we have made. And lastly, project insight and analytics. Because at the end of the day, I want to see my analytics, like the project is profitable or not, what are the variances, how it is going on, what is the current stage of the project, whether it is, what is the critical path of the project. So those things we will see at the end. Now, financial transparency, this is something which is very, very crucial. Like I should have WIP tracking from the day one. If it is a capital project, so I have to have the WIP tracking. Then my project cost, whether it is aligned with my estimations or not. My financials are integrated with that. Then project profitability insight. At the end of the day, everybody is working for the profit, whether it is matching with my expectation or not. And then budget versus actual tracking or estimation versus actual tracking. This is a little detailed of timeline, task progress dependency, which is powered by Gantt chart. So this is the most crucial area which we have achieved in Dynamic 365 Business Central, because out of the box, there is no a solution for Gantt charts. Normally what people are doing, they are managing outside of Business Central in MS Project. What we have tried to achieve with Gantt chart is everything should be managed in Business Central, which means you do not have to have multiple applications. This actually came from one of our clients. That is how we developed originally. They do not want to have the multiple applications for managing the projects, procurement and finance. It should be one application. The second idea was it should be very, very flexible as it is there in MS projects. Like if I have to drag something, it should be draggable. If I bring back, it should be, and let's say if I move one task, the rest of the tasks should automatically, like the dependent task should automatically move. So that was the idea to develop Gantt chart. And from there, we have developed and implemented the Gantt chart for that specific line. Okay, so this is the live case study for what we have implemented. This customer is basically doing the plants for hydrogen. That's the main core forte of the client. And normally it's like 2000 crore, 3000 crore value of the project, slightly the bigger of the size. So that ways they are running Business Central on top of the customizations we have made for the EPC industry. So if you see, the original challenges was there was no project, no visibility for project activities, everything they were managing on Excel. Then the budgeting was, everything was happening on Excel. The PO processing was very delayed because one has to, let's say if I have to do a procurement, I am a project manager. If I have to do some procurement, I'll email or I'll call to the procurement team, then they will do their activity. They will ask for RFQ or purchase requisition, right? Then RFQ will go, then how they compare. So it takes normally some time. And the major problem was there was no central database there we can have the record. So tomorrow, if they want to see the RFQ, they have to go back and search the emails, due to which there were multiple problems. Apart from delays, there were multiple problems. Now, the another issue was inventory mismatch. The inventory was ordered for one project, but consumed on another project. So this kind of issues they have faced slightly on a bigger level. Then what we have done, we have tried to bring everything on one common platform. One more thing we have customized specifically for EPC part is because the collaboration is very, very important. So on every screen, we have customized a chat box kind of a scenario. So let's say on a project, I create a RFQ. From RFQ, the PO is created. Now on that specific PO, I want to discuss something with someone. Let's say I'm a procurement assistant. I want to tag it to project manager. So I'll write my comment, tag it to project manager. Project manager will get a notification. Then they can update and reply on that. The best part is the chat will be stored forever. If tomorrow auditor comes, if tomorrow anything comes, that database is already there. The trail is already there. The audit log is getting created. So that way we have created that collaboration space more or less on every page, like purchase order, sales order, PR, RFQ. So everywhere we made it configurable that if you want, you can set it up from the parameters and can start using that chat box for that specific record. It is not a generic chat. It's that specific purchase order or that specific purchase invoice on which we are talking about. I'll not take much time. Let's move to the demo. So again, just to add one more line. So this solution we have, because we are present in 4 different locations, UAE, India, Singapore, and USA. So as of now, the solution is ready for all 4 locations, and we're trying to expand it to Australia region as well. But that is the next which will
Vijay, your voice is not coming.
Is it audible now?
Yes.
Amit, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm Amit, just handing it over to you. You can continue from here.
All right. Thank you so much, Vijay. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll just share my screen. Aditi, can you confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, it's visible. We can see it.
All right. All right, guys. So this is a dashboard of a Business Central. So this dashboard is also designed by us for the project manager. So if you will see, this is the project manager dashboard, and we can see the project related task or the subtask over my dashboard itself, right? So I'll not take much time into it. And there is a Power BI report which we have created and updated on the dashboard. So I'll go later to that report. Once we'll cover the session, then you will be able to more correlate with that particular report. So what I'll do, I'll just go to the project. So this is the project list. So we have created one project called Hotel Building Project. So this is the project ID, which comes from the number sequence. So description we can give. So if we are selling this particular project to any of the customers, so we can select the customer, otherwise we can keep it blank as well, right? Then the location, then on the project team, we can define the team here. So this is the project team which is assigned to this particular project. So we can add those team members from this button. So let's say I want to add this particular employee. So this is already added. So this is how we can add the resources or the members to that particular project, right? Then on the right hand side, you can tag the project manager, whosoever is the responsible person for the project manager. You can tag that person. You can tag the project head. If there is any external document number, or you can say the customer PO number, so that number you can define over here. Then the status will remain open, the project status. So there are a couple of stages based on my EPCC industry. So we have created the project status as engineering, procurement, construction, commissioning, and operations, right? Then if I'll go down, so these are the tasks which we have created. I'll go deeper into this. So first I'll just cover the page, then I'll move to the task and subtask. Then here we have the customer details, so which will come from my customer master. On the posting tab, there is the posting profile. So this is the setting up of the project. Then what is my WIP method? So the method we are using is the percentage of completion. Then the posting method will be the per project or per project ledger entry. So I'll just keep it as project ledger entry. So here on the right hand side, you can see whatever is the completion percentage, that completion percentage will keep automatically updated. If there is any overdue in the planning line, so those overdue percentage we can see. And here in the WIP recognition, so whatever things will keep posting to the WIP, so those numbers will get automatically updated over here. And once we'll post those numbers, we'll capitalize the project cost will automatically move from the WIP to the capitalization or the posted entries, right? Then here we have the number series for the project, work order, service order, contract order. So we have done the customization in which we have created within the project, we can create either the purchase order, service order, work order, or the contract orders. So this is about the page which we have designed. Then I'll just go to the task and subtask. So these are the tasks which we have created, the engineering task. If I'll go to the subtask of this, so these are the tasks which we have created. So this is the parent task and this is the child task. So if I'll open any of the task, so this is how we can give the description of the task. We can define the location. We can assign this task to the individual, like whosoever is working on this particular task. We can define that. We can set the priority as well, whether it is a high priority task or a low, medium, critical. So this is how we can define. Then what is the status? What is the completion percentage over here? Then who is the parent task? So it comes under the civil engineering. So that's why we have tagged as a parent of civil engineering. Then when this task will get started, when the planning will get due, by which date we need to close the task, what is the confidence level, whether it is high, low, under evaluation. So those things we can define. If there is any escalation estimation, so we can those mention those as well. So if you will go a little down, you can add the dependencies. So there is a button called add. So let's say I want to add the dependency, like this particular task is dependent to any other task. So those dependencies we can set and we can define. So if I'll click, so this task will be dependent. These two tasks will be dependent to my site clearing and grading task, right? And on the right hand side, I can see the activity log. So whatever changes I'll made, so those activity logs will be automatically gets created. So tomorrow, if my project head or project manager want to see like what changes I have made, what was the status which was earlier and which I have modified. So those changes we can track from this particular activity log as well, right? Then if there is any attachment, so we can attach the documents over here. We can leave the notes. We can attach the links. So these things we can do. And this is how we have designed, like based on the engineering tasks. So first it will come civil engineering, structural engineering, then water supply and sanitization, electrical engineering. So all those tasks and subtasks we have defined. And at the last, we have defined some resources which will be added to it. And if I'll just open any of the resource, you will come to know the resource name. So this is the resource name, how many hours will consume from this particular resource. So let's say the hours will be 20. If there is any unit cost is 25. So total will cost 5,000 USD. So the currency, base currency, which is defined in this company is the USD. So it will take 5,000 USD for this particular resource. And same way we can have the activity log attachments on every pages, right? And you can see the pending quantity is showing 200. So whatever we will keep consuming, so those numbers will be updated and the pending quantity will be automatically gets deducted. So this is how we can create our task and subtask. I can see like on the list view also, I can just select the employee, whosoever is working on this. So this is how I can tag the member over here. We can see the start date and end date. If there is any changes on those dates, so we can do those changes. We can check the status, whether the task is completed or yet not started. So we have a couple of options like started, on track, delayed, completed. So this is how we can do the tracking, right? So this is about the page. Then if anything goes over budget, so those budget tracking, over budget tracking, we can check over here itself. So this is the engineering task. Same way we have created the procurement task. So under the procurement task, we have items which we need to procure against this particular project. So we have like plywood, cement, carpet, mattress. So all those items we have created. If I'll open any of the items, so let's say I'll just open the carpet. So if I'll open, so this is the item master. Then how many quantities we require, what is the requisition quantity, what is the pending quantity, what is the base unit of measure, what is the unit cost. So all those things we can define, and based on that, my budget will get automatically created. I'll just open any other item as well. So like this is the item called flow tiles. So we need 4,000 tiles, out of which 100 we have already acquired, and pending quantity is 3,900. And this is the total cost. Again, the attachment and those detailing thing, we can have it over here. So if I'll just go back, I can see, so this number is automatically updated based on the item cost and the quantity, right? Same goes with the engineering task, same goes with the construction task. So in this task, if you will click, you can see we have mentioned some labor charges. So based on the labor charges, this number is updating on the list view. So you can see total number of hours will be 5,000, unit cost is 20 USD per hour. So total cost will be 1 lakh USD, which is updated over here, right? So this is how we can keep tracking on the budgeted value. Like this, these are my budgeted value. Whatever things will buy, whatever things will consume against this project, so my actuals will be automatically updated. And you can again check the progress over here. Like out of 26 tasks, 2 tasks has been completed. Out of 19 tasks, 1 task has been completed. So this is how you can track as well from the grid page. Now I'll just show you the project tracker. So this is my project tracker, which will say how many items are there on the project requisition, how many RFQ lines have been created, how many purchase orders have been created against this project, how many GRNs we have posted. So all those things you can track from this project tracker itself, right? What purchase invoices we have posted, what was the amount. So based on that, based on these values, you can do check the this particular procurement value as well, because in the project tracker we have the procurement items which we need to procure, or whatever the things are there on the PO or RFQ or purchase invoices, right? Then I'll just move to the Gantt chart, which is the key functionality. So this is how the Gantt chart will look like. I'll just keep it to the monthly scale, just expand a view a bit. So you can see based on my starting date and end date, which I have defined on the task level, it is showing like when I need to start, in which week I need to start this particular task. And you can check the color coding. If it is in green, that means that the task is completed. If it is in blue, then means the task is in progress, due, overdue. So whatever is in red color, that is overdue. So you can see the start date should be this. And if you will keep the cursor over here, you can check the resource name, who is the resource which is assigned to this particular task, what is the status of task, what is the duration of this particular task, whether it has started or not. So this is how you can check. And these arrows which you are seeing is the dependency. So let's say this these task is dependent on this particular task. So if I'll drag anything, so let's say if I'll move any task, so these tasks will get automatically shifted from this particular button, right? And you can see this is how the project workers can update the status. So let's say it is completed by 36%, so they can just drag it like this and it will be automatically updated. You can check the progress is 46.46%, right? If you will scroll a little right, you can check all those tasks and subtasks, in which week these tasks will be getting due, when we need to have those tasks. So this is how you can check. And the best part is it can be downloaded in Excel as well. So you can export it in Excel and you can present it in front of your management, right? So you can see all those tasks are showing over here along with the duration, like the date and time, then the number of days it will take, what is the current status, whether it is completed or not. So this is how it will work. So this is about the Gantt chart. Now I'll show you the procurement cycle, how the procurement will work. So I'll just go to the items. So here we have a button called requisition. So all those items are here, which we need to acquire or procure. So you can see the requisition quantity, which we have already requisites. So there are pending quantities. So let's say this particular item I need to acquire currently. So I'll just select this particular line. I'll just click on the request requisition. So it is saying that the original quantity is 100. How many quantity I need to acquire? So let's say instead of 100, I might be requiring 150 quantity, which will go over budget. So in the over budget scenario, I'll show you how the figures will work. So I'll just click on OK. Click on yes. So project requisition line has been created. So this requisition will go to the procurement team. They can just go to the project requisition sheet. So this line has automatically been created over here for 100 quantity. So I'll just mention the quantity over here. So at this particular level also I can select the vendor, or I can for the direct PO, or I can send to the multiple vendors for the quotation for the RFQs. So we'll run both the scenario. In first case, we'll just create the purchase order. In another scenario, we'll just go for the requisition kind of scenario, right? So I'll just select the vendor over here. So this is my vendor lookup. I'll just select the vendor called First Up Consultants. I'll just change the action type as purchase order. Now I'll click on create purchase order. So one purchase order has been successfully created. So this is how we have reduced the manual work. Like over a click, the PO will be created from the project itself. So if I'll go to the purchase orders, so I can see this is the PO which we have created. So the initials of the PO is the project ID, then the PO number. So if I'll go down, I can see this is the item which I need to procure. Metpress, then 100 is the quantity at whatever price. Let's say I'm buying it at 200 USD, so it will come as 20,000. Now I can release it to the vendor. So this PO has been released. If I'll go to the project, I can check on the project tracker. So this is the requisition which we have just created, and this is the PO. You can check. The PO number is 1005, 100 quantity, 200 is the amount, and 20,000 is the value. So this is how we can track from the project tracker, like what is the status of my POs, right? So quantity received is 0. We have not received it yet. So that is why it is showing 0. Now I'll go to the purchase order again. So I'm assuming I have received the material. So I'll just put the invoice number. My quantity is automatically updated. So I'll just click on post, receive an invoice. So we have done a setup in such a way where once we receive anything, the item consumption will be automatically posted on the project. So you can see the value earlier it was 460. Now it has been updated as 480. If I'll go to the ledger entries, so I can check. This is the recent one. So you can see the 100 quantity at the rate of 200 and 20,000 rupees has been 20,000 USD has been posted against this particular project. But it is yet not come into the WIP. So we need to calculate the WIP to have it on the WIP side of it, and then we can capitalize it, which will be posted from the WIP to the posted entries. Right? Then I'll just show you one report also. So you can check the project actuals versus budget. So I'll just select the project ID over here. So you can check whatever you have budgeted, what is your current usage, how much you have already used. So you can see the actual was this much, the usage was 480. So this is how you can check the report as well. All right. Now I'll just create one more requisition and we'll see the RFQ process which we have developed. So I'll just again go to the requisition. I'll just pick this particular item. I'll click on request requisition. I'll just mention 2000 out of 2500. The requisition line has been created. Now procurement team will get the notification. They will open this requisition worksheet. They will see. Now the action will perform is the request for quotation. So I'll just select request for quotation. I'll click on create request for quotations. Right, I need to mention the quantity as 2000. So here I'll just put the description. If there is any technical in charge, so we can tag those technical in charge as well. Requested delivery date we can mention. I'll press yes. So one request for quotation has been created. Now I'll click on request for quotation. So this is my quotation which has been created. Now what I'll do, I'll just select the vendor over here to whom we need to send this quotation. So I'll just select a couple of vendors. Right, so this is the quantity. Now either I can send the RFQ one by one to the vendors, or I can simply click on send. It will be sent to all those vendors, right? So I'll just click on send. Okay, I need to put the bid date. Bid date, let's say I'll just mention as 15th of May. I'll click on send. So RFQ has been sent to all three vendors. You can see the sent status. Now if I'll go to manage replies. So these are the three quotations which has been created. Now let's say we can release it and send it to the vendor. Once we'll get the rates or once we'll get the codes, so we need to update the value along with the quantity and rate over here so that we can manage the replies, right? So I'll just mention 2000 quantity. I'll just mention the, let's say he's giving me at 200. Another one is giving me at 250. This one is 180. Their delivery date can be different, right? So the rates I have updated. Now I can go to the manage and compare replies. So I can see this is the page where I can see like this is the rates which we get from these different vendors, right? Then expected delivery date I can update over here. So let's say 22nd, 29, 30th, right? So from whosoever we need to have this particular material, we can select it. We can mention the available quantity. We can send it for the approval, or we can just click on accept, right? The quantity we can mention is 20,000. Okay, quantity will automatically come. Then I can just click on accept it. So you can see the accepted quantity has been updated over here. So if I'll go to the quotation, so rest of the quotes has been automatically removed from here. So if I'll go to the purchase quote, So the RFQ status has been updated as accepted. Now, either I can just make it as an order, or we can mention the quantity, we can release it and convert it into order, right? So this is how this procurement process works. So I'm returned to the project. So if I'll see the project tracker, I can see there are a couple of lines on the RFQ for 1,000 quantity, and one vendor has been selected. The PO is yet not created for this particular line, right? So this is how we can keep updating the values. Now what I'll do, I'll just change the status as execution, and I'll run the WIP. I'll just click on calculate WIP and press OK. So you can see the posted entries has been updated as 4,83,625. If you will do the total, it will come this much only, right? So this is how the project planning works, and this is how we can do the procurement. We can track the stages, we can track the task and subtasks. So this is how the entire cycle works. So if anybody has any questions, you guys can please ask or type it on a chat box. Vijay, if you have anything.
No, but I think we are good. It's good to go. We can wrap up the call probably. Aditi, you want to add something? All right. Thank you everyone for joining this call. Let's stay connected. If you have any query, anything, you can drop out in email at info@techtreeconsulting.com. Amit, I'm audible, right?
Yes, you are audible to me.
Amit, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining this call. Bye-bye. Stay safe.
Thank you, everyone.